Certainly easier said than done.
Well, the board was disconnected. Ivey checked. Erick has no hand. He really has to bet there, or he risks just giving up.
Ace-8 now for Phil Ivey, and again we see him limping in. Lindgren checking King-3 of diamonds, and another flop, 4, 6, 8, all hearts.
Well, no one has a heart. It might slow the action down a little bit.
Bet 25,000.
Ivey bets 25,000, and Erick's going to throw his hand away.
Might slow it down if your name's not Phil Ivey.
Well, Ivey just continues to dominate here and pound on Erick, using that big chip stack to maximum advantage.
Button on Erick Lindgren. Pocket aces, finally a hand for E-Dog.
Yeah, finally. He's just had pocket 9s and pocket kings heads up. Why not pocket aces? Erick getting a little tricky here. He's limped in on the button.
Check.
6, Queen, 9 is the flop. Both players checking.
Erick continuing the slow play.
Deuce of hearts now on the turn. Phil checks over to Erick, who bets out.
Erick finally coming out of his shell and betting 20,000, and a quick call from Phil Ivey with a pair of 9s.
10 of clubs now on the river. Phil Ivey checks once more.
Now Erick's going to try to find a number that Phil can call with one pair.
How much is that?
35.
And he comes up with 55,000 as that number.
That's a pretty good bet.
50? 55?
The board now has 2 overcards to Phil Ivey's 9s and 2 possible straights.
Phil's just trying to add this up. He's trying to figure out exactly what Erick has bet this 55,000 on, and I don't think he's going to be able to get it right.
To Erick's credit, he set the trap with the aces before the flop.
Erick deserves to get paid off here. He slow played before the flop. He slow played on the flop. He made just a small bet on the turn.
It's weird.
All that adds up to weakness to me. Of course, that's exactly the story that Erick's trying to tell here.
It's a weird little hand here. 55.
This is the first situation that Phil Ivey has really gone into the tank all match long.
Well, he doesn't want to give Erick Lindgren 55,000 if he doesn't have to.
Erick looking very composed. It's got to be killing him inside right now, though.
10 helped you, huh?
Well, the good thing for Erick is he knows for certain that he has the best hand. He knows that Phil doesn't have 2 pair, or Phil would have auto-called. Now he's just praying for a call.
This hand makes no sense at all.
And Ivey's going to make the call.
Oh.
Yeah, I knew it had to be really big.
Ivey suspected he had to be up against a very big hand or a complete stone-cold bluff.
Just 2 aces, huh?
Just 2 aces. One pair.
Erick Lindgren has been catching the cards, but Phil Ivey is still holding on to the chip lead. The Pro-Am Poker Equalizer, brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net. To learn, chat, and play with the pros, go where they live. FullTiltPoker.net. Looking at the chip counts now between Phil Ivey and Erick Lindgren. Phil Ivey hanging on to just over a 2-to-1 chip lead, but the battle is by no means over. That battle for one of the 6 seats at the final table. This the first of 6 preliminary matches. Winner here will get a shot at the $500,000 first place prize. Loser goes home empty-handed. Ace-10 for Phil Ivey and 8-3 for Erick Lindgren. King-6 is the flop.
Lindgren checks, and Ivey makes a small bet after the flop and takes the pot down. Continues to just dominate this heads-up battle.
Very frustrating for Erick, needless to say.
No doubt about that.
He'll get it right sooner or later.
I'll be done by then.
I'm so slow with
You know,
unbelievable.
this girl told me the other day, she said, you're not very aware of your surroundings. She was right. You know, like little stuff like that, I don't notice.
Sure she would have thought about something else?
Well, Lindgren indeed aware of his situation. He knows he's going to need some help here to dig out of the hole and win this match.
Raise to 30.
Ace 10 is a start. He puts in a raise on the button. First raise we've seen in a while, and this is troubled.
I'm all in.
All in.
2 10s for Phil Ivey, and he moves all in.
Tough spot for Erick here. His tournament life is at stake. Erick wants to call here if he's a 50-50 shot, but of course he's not.
Instead, he's a big, big underdog.
Yeah, he's about 31% to win.
Yeah, if I don't call here, I'll probably get it in really bad later. $91.50, $170. 64 out there. Michael,
Fall.
got ace jack.
Erick does make the call, and he will not be happy to see the 2 10s in Ivey's hand.
This could have folded.
You could have, but
I didn't.
I could have had ace 8 or ace 9 or ace 7 of spade or something, so not like it.
If Lindgren does get lucky and win this pot, though, he'll be the new chip leader.
Here's the flop. 5, king, 3 with a couple of hearts. Erick now needs an ace or a couple of runners to a straight.
And 7 of diamonds on the turn, no help. Erick down to just 3 outs. Only 7% to win on the river. He needs an ace or this thing is over, and Phil Ivey advances to the championship.
That river is the 4 of hearts, and Phil Ivey has advanced to the final table.
Good game, man. Win the next one. Okay. Share some of the money.
Great play from both of these guys. They survived the equalizer, and Phil Ivey is a deserving champion. He's going to be very, very tough to beat in the finals.
At the top of the show, Phil Ivey was in 3rd place, but showed again why he is considered the best poker player in the world. Erick Lindgren will head to the golf course and see if he can figure out how Phil once again bested him on the green of the poker table. Mika Buchan is with our Match 1 champion.
Congratulations, Phil Ivey. Now, you're used to big tournament play. How much of a difference did the 3-2 ratio in favor of the amateurs, how did that affect play today?
Well, it made a big difference because you weren't able to just jump out there and start raising a lot of hands. As you can see, I changed the way I played a little bit today. I limped a lot more and tried to get involved with some flops with the amateurs today.
Now, you were heads up with your friend Erick in the final hand there. How does that affect your decision-making?
Me and Erick, we're really good friends away from the table, and at the table, we hate to lose to each other. If I didn't win the hand with ace 8 against his 2 7s, he would be here talking to you right now. So I was lucky enough to win that hand.
The first match has concluded, but there's lots more Pro-Am Poker Equalizer coming up. In the second hour, meet the new lineup of pros and amateurs, each of them ready to duke it out for a seat next to Phil Ivey at the final table. All of this coming up on the Pro-Am Poker Equalizer.